not too long ago we had the opportunity to address you, and by extension the good people of Ghana. During that address, we called on our members, supporters and sympathizers to all ensure that the remainder of the electoral process is policed, particularly the collation of polling station results at various constituency collation centers as designated by the Electoral Commission. We're very happy with the response we are getting from our rank and file across the 276 constituencies of Ghana. Clearly, our brothers in the NPP are not enthused by this announcement that we made. They say we want to cause confusion, and that is why we are calling on citizens of Ghana who have a stake in our electoral process to go and monitor. They say by calling on the citizens to go to various constituency coalition sessions, we are trying to foment trouble and confusion. Ladies and gentlemen, if they have nothing to hide, they should have no qualms about citizens of Ghana who have duly cast their votes going to the constituency coalition centers to observe the coalition process and what is happening around these coalition centers from the legally, permitted positions. We all know that when it comes to constituency collation of results, it is provided for in law. That exercise is not an exercise in secrecy. That exercise is supposed to be a public exercise. It is just like the sorting out of ballot papers, which is done at the polling station level at the close of polls, the counting of those ballot papers and the declaration of the results. Even though they are polling agents certified by the EC representing various political parties present, the general public is allowed to observe that process from at least 100 meters from where the real exercise is happening. So if you are a member of the general public, a citizen of Ghana, you can go and observe the sorting out of ballot papers, the counting, and the declaration at the polling station. Why is it that at the polling station level we don't say that because agents of political parties are already there, then everybody should go home? That is the paucity of the logic the NPP is urging on us, and it's very sad that the Electoral Commission seem to be re-echoing this contrived and business narrative of the New Patriotic Party. Everything about our electoral process is supposed to be public. Secrecy and opacity is what breeds rigging in every election. And so if they have nothing to hide, the NPP and the Electoral Commission have nothing to hide, and they should even join us in inviting members of the public to come and observe the coalition process. We are not asking our supporters to enter the coalition rooms. No, we have accredited agents who are the only ones permitted to enter those coalition rooms. We have accredited observers who can also enter and observe the process. But other members of the public are allowed to be at the center, at the right designated places. Not inside the inner perimeter or that enclosed area where the exercise is happening. But nothing stops that. There is no law in Ghana that bans citizens of Ghana from going to a collation center where results from polling stations are being collated. We have always done this since 1992. Collation has always been a public exercise. And the Jimensa Bosmanasare Samuel Tete-led EC cannot change it. Neither can the failed outgoing NPP government change this. We need to make that very, very clear. And so we thank all our supporters who have heeded this call, stopped all manner of jubilations, and are presently at constituency coalition centers. We will continue to call on you, appeal to you to conduct yourself peacefully, responsibly, and orderly. And please ensure that you are at least 100 meters away from the main collation center, but you should be observing your eyes, your ears, your nose should be observing the process. You should be smelling everything going on. You should be listening to everything going on, so that if there is any issue, you can draw our attention to that for us to act. So ignore the lamentations of our friends in the NPP who have all of a sudden turned into evangelists. I heard their campaign communication director quoting 1 Kings chapter 3 and all that Bible quotations that I'm sure he has not even read before. Today he's an evangelist quoting Bible quotations. This is not a biblical, quotation exercise. We are dealing with a public election governed by laws, and the call we have made is in consonance with the electoral laws of this country and with the conventions and practices that we have used for elections in Ghana since 1992. The earlier they get that, the better. But as I said, notice and actually caution our agents and supporters to be on high alert for the rigging machinations of the NPP in this critical stage, or at this critical stage of the electoral process. We have come by incontrovertible evidence that shows that the NPP has not changed. But if they have changed at all, they have changed from bad to worse. Yes. They don't think that elections are about counting heads. They still think that elections are about cutting heads. They were one time lucky with violence and thuggery, and today they think that they will be second time lucky with thuggery and violence. But as the boys say in our Ghanaian society, they lie bad. This time around, violence will not prevail. Violence will not win the NPP this election, because there will be an appropriate resistance for what they have planned. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you to Akwema Wabeja South constituency. Even as I was addressing you, and by extension, the good people of Ghana, the NPP had assigned their thugs, positioned them somewhere around Sepasi. And if you know that constituency very well, polls have ended in Aboagye, and ballot papers were being moved to Nkari, the capital of the district, for coalition at the constituency coalition center. On their way from Aboagye to Nkari, when they go to Sepasi, some thugs of the NPP pounced on that vehicle. They were already holding 2 ballot boxes full of ballot papers, attempting to swap 2 ballot boxes with the ballot boxes that they were holding. Thanks to the resistance that our supporters, agents, observers mounted, and supported by the Ghana police, were able to overpower them, and they were arrested. As I speak to you, they are in police custody. I want to show you videos of what happened. And the media, you can check with your correspondents in the Ashanti region. These shameless, desperate people who think that this country belongs to them and will stop at nothing to hold on to power, even when they know the people of Ghana have rejected them. This is what you are up to again. They did it in 2020, they started again. So this is the Sepasi police station. There's a confrontation going on. When they arrested them, they brought them. But let's go to the next video so that they can see the ballot box. Yeah, so that's one of the guys. Can we go to the next one? Next one. Yeah, so these are the 2 ballot boxes they try to swap with authentic ballot boxes. These are the 2 ballot boxes. And the police have seized that. They have seized that. And this was as a result of the vigilance of our people and the professionalism of the Ghana Police Service. And we commend them for that. So these are the ballot boxes. Pounds on the vehicle which was transporting the ballot boxes from Aboagye to Nkari Asepasi. And they already had a ballot box with papers in it, ballot papers in it already printed. So when we tell you that these guys are up to no good, they are criminally minded. These are demented psychopaths. who would do everything and anything to hold on to power, including killing, including stealing. This is what we are talking about. They make frivolous allegations without any proof. We are giving you proof. So the new evangelist, the NPP, has now got an evangelist in his Aboagye. We want him to hold a press conference on this and tell us whether this is true or not. Now, let's move from Aboagye south and come to the the central region, and we do Senior East constituency, where we've recorded another murder of an innocent citizen who happens to be a supporter of the National Democratic Congress. Clearly, Awutu Senior East constituency is green. The tyrant, how I could say, is a goner. And seeing that power has obviously left her, she cannot come to terms with the reality and has resorted to violence as she is known for. She's the same person who went to a police station and actually pulled a gun and shot at innocent civilians. And today, his thugs who were brought in from the Boku area, we know them, we have been telling all of them, were directed by Hawa Kumse to fire at an innocent, unarmed supporter of the NDC. Today, our former constituency secretary for Ayawaso, Awutu Senior East constituency, Tuareg is no longer with the living, is no longer with us. Why? Because attacks of this same woman, Hawa Kumse, beat him to pulp, and he never recovered, never got better until he died very quickly, leaving behind many children. So for how long will Hawa Kumse continue to do this? As I speak to you, one supporter of the NDC has been murdered. He's dead. The other is in critical condition at the hospital. And that is not to say that we have lost focus. It is a very sad moment for us, a very difficult moment for us. But until Honorable Namfoyo is declared as a member of Parliament elect for that constituency, we shall rest not in that constituency. Information we have is that the coalition currently ongoing at the coalition center at dissect is almost coming to an end. We want to call on all our supporters, all our agents to remain extra vigilant until the process is concluded. The duly elected member of Parliament for the constituency is declared by the EC. The resource form duly signed by agents, our agents get his or her copy, it is posted on the wall, and then we can go and jubilate. But until then, let's remain vigilant. So that is what we have done there, and when we have the opportunity to address you again, we will show you pictures and videos of that. But I'm sure by now your correspondents in the area have already spoken to you about this sad development. But you still, nobody goes scot-free after shedding innocent blood. The NPP doesn't understand what is happening to them today. But one of the reasons why they are losing this miserably, like their own prophet told them they will lose spot all, is because of the 8 innocent Ghanaians they murdered in 2020. The blood of those innocent Ghanaians will forever be on their head. And so will be the blood of these 2 innocent Ghanaians who have been murdered today. One in Yampala in the Tono constituency. An innocent civilian who was sitting somewhere only for these NPP thugs under the instruction of their parliamentary candidate Habib to open fire on him. And if you can show that is the injured person, show us the picture of the one who they murdered in cold blood under a bench because they were seated down. They didn't have any weapon. They killed them just like that because they had gone to the UDS campus at Nampala to influence and induce students to vote for Habib. Our supporters protested. It led to some heated exchanges and fisticuffs. The NPP thugs left the scene with Habib and came back there with their AK-47s and all that, they began to shoot indiscriminately to intimidate the crowd. The crowd dispersed, and on their way out, they met these NPC supporters sitting somewhere under an NPC shed, and they just opened fire on them and killed one of the spots. And here let me commend the Ghana Police Service led by IGP Dan Parry. IGP so far so good. It's not been smooth. We've not been happy with how some military men have been deployed and how some of them are behaving. But I think that so far, the Election Security Task Force under your leadership has done its best to maintain law and order in consonance with the laws governing this process. And we entreat you to continue to do so in accordance with the Constitution that you have sworn to uphold. And I'm commending him because we understand that 4 of the criminals who committed this dastardly act have been arrested by the police. But the main culprit, who is Habib, must be arrested. And if he's not arrested today, on the 8th of January, he will be arrested. Just like our Then, in Greater Accra, we are having serious challenges in 4 constituencies. One is Ayawaso Central, where the Interior Minister, Henry Botte, is Member of Parliament and they are growing Member of Parliament for the area. We are having similar issue at Tena Central, Ablikuma West, especially where Asnawusu is the Member of Parliament, and Ablikuma North. And the common feature of all these challenges we are having at these coalition sectors is that the police, or let me not even say the police, these thugs of the NPP, or some of them may be wearing police uniforms or military uniforms, but you can't even tell. Today, in a Kufuado's Ghana, whether these people are truly soldiers, you can't really tell. That is how depraved the leadership of this country has become, and how bastardized our state institutions have been, reduced to. And so these thugs don't want to allow members of the public to at least observe, because at Ablikuma West, thugs of the NPP tried to engage in ballot box swapping. They drew into the coalition center 2 ballot boxes. And people saw it because they were there. And they were there because we called on them to be there. Had they not been there, the story would have been a different one. So they were there and they protested and resisted that ballot box swapping attempt by the NPP. Immediately that happened, as the Usu called her soldiers. And they came there in the truck. Soldiers armed to the teeth surrounding the coalition center. Well, our Deputy General Secretary is on the ground, and I'm told that the soldiers have now packed off. And that is a challenge we are encountering there. Same as Ablikuma North, same as Tena Central. And we are telling our people, stand your ground. Stand your ground. Be peaceful, be responsible, be orderly, but stand your ground. You have nothing to fear, because we are on the side of the Lord. We are on the side of the Lord. And he cannot kill all of us in Ghana. He can't. Now, to conclude, there is also the issue of Aboagye North in the eastern region, where, again, at the coalition center, the police has fired tear gas, they are spraying pepper spray, just to make sure that our people are not there to observe the process. And we want to call on the IGP to address these issues that we are encountering in some of these polling stations. The entire electoral process is a public exercise, from the police station level to the constituency level to the regional level to the national level. Accredited agents are the ones who are allowed to be in the collation rooms. We all know that. But the public, the general public, is allowed to be around to observe what is happening. What is happening is not an election of a secret society. It's an election of a democratic country. People have cast their votes. Why do you have to hide? And some people say, oh, but your agents are there, allow them. 2 agents and a few observers. What about if they banded them somewhere? Like they did at the Chiman South. They attacked them. They hound them out. Who will be there to defend them? And you want us, a serious political party, ready for power and in fact coming into power, to listen to your advice and tell our supporters to sleep at home and allow only two. It will not happen today, it will not happen tomorrow. It will police this exercise to the very end. And we call on our supporters to do exactly that. Now, finally, I'll end with a joke. I heard the new evangelist the NPP has now discovered, their communications director, who is now quoting a lot of Bible quotations, saying that they have won the election. Well, I'm not here to counter that. I'm not here to say that we have won. As for who has won, by now, every Kenyan knows. They themselves, they know. And I want to show you one person who knows, because as the evangelist was preaching and saying they have won, his brother, the communication director of the NPP, was by his side. And from the look on his face, can we see that picture? I want to show you the face of a man who says he has won the election. This is Richard and the NPP communications director. So if the NPP has truly won an election, you think this is how Richard and will be looking? This will be his countenance and his facial expression. And I'm sure you saw Fatima too. Yes. So these are the people who claim they have won an election. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your patience. We thank you for your collaboration. We appreciate your presence here with us. And we want to encourage you to stick with us until we bring this process to an end. In Central for me, on my tissue, the support is not